not nothing to be done. Now, as Zerg myself and Legacy of the Void, even though we're Heart of the Swarm right now, next season of RSL will be Legacy of the Void. But in Legacy of the Void, my own opinion as Zerg is I honestly don't even care about it. I try to rush Hydra Roach and I don't actually care about it. I don't throw an extractor near there. I pull my drones and just micro like crazy on 3 bases.
Yeah.
And then really wait just a couple minutes. It is hard to deal with, but by no means is it not beatable.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
All right, guys, game one. We're loading into that now. We'll be on Moonlight Madness.
Yeah, this is a very interesting map with having those two rocks you're able to destroy. So let's get our player introductions spawning in the bottom left. It is our orange Protoss player, Seigifried. Oh, wait. Oh.
Woo, yeah. And his opponent in the top right-hand corner, the blue Zerg player from Invasion Esports. It is PandaBearMe. You should cheer for a Velo. I mean, I think that's Kaboosh. Your secret name is a Velo. Kaboosh is actually a Velo. He's actually one of the RSL lovely admins and decides to be a Velo. We'll see there, guys. See how PandaBearMe deals with the PVZ. We saw PVZ where the Zerg was dang greedy into Mass Roach Hydra and the Terran. Or sorry, the Terran, what am I talking about? In the Protoss in that last situation, really liked the Baguette style. We'll see if Seigifried and our lovely PandaBearMe emulate that in the same way and maybe do the same thing. Definitely, we see a lot more Stalker Sentry, but, you know, it is kind of variable what the Zerg can do on this map. Although, Draven, you yourself may know, I mean, it's not too hard to take this third base as your natural and then just get a quick 3 bases.
Yeah, so one thing I do, it's like, you know, like you said, it's harder to determine. It really depends on who I'm playing. If I'm playing against Protoss, I'll do what PandaBearMe is doing and take that my second there, because then your third base you could actually kind of wall off, kind of make it a choke point. But if you're playing against Terran, you open yourself up to a lot of drops, because where PandaBearMe took his base, it's technically further from your creep, so it's harder to defend it.
Definitely.
But playing against Protoss, it's a little bit safer.
Against Protoss, yes, it is a little bit safer, but you always got to worry about like an early Mothership Core or something annoying taking out the rocks and actually just cutting you off from that viable third base. For now, though, PandaBearMe very carefully takes his third as his natural, playing it nicely out. Maybe take a quick third off the back of this, or more of a mind game of, oh, you don't know where my natural base is. Desperately, though, Seigifried does scout it. He says, okay, cool. You're not one-basing me, and honestly, an awkward one-base at that. And we'll see how Seigifried reacts. I'd like Stargate on this map, but I like straight up Zealot Immortal. You can do some cool things with maneuvering around, taking out the back rocks, but we have seen a Protoss like Stargate, and why not Seigifried? That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, with those rocks you can destroy, there's actually 2 sets, depending on where you spawn, and that's really annoying because I've played a few times where I'll be focused on one, not realizing that the other ones are getting destroyed and vice versa. So
you're so confident. You're like, Drennoc, you had this. Like, you looking at the rocks, you know what's going to happen. They're like, oh, yeah.
There's 2.
Yeah.
And I'm told, I haven't really seen it yet, but I'm told that Protoss have a very sneaky build. You could hug a pylon next to one of the rocks, and you could warp in on the other side of the rocks. You don't even have to destroy the rocks as Protoss to jump over them. I forget exactly where it's at, but I just know that I've seen a few. I think it's right where, yeah.
It's not too hard to do, but yeah, no, it's pretty darn easy in that kind of first set of rocks, or at least the rocks closest to your third base. You can throw a pylon right there and warp it on the other side. It's a little bit dirty, but as a Protoss player myself, what the heck, I like it.
Yeah, you know, it's fun to see it. You know, first off, I know earlier the other day I didn't necessarily lose. Okay, yes, I lost. I'll admit it. I lost to a Terran who built a factory there, and then floated the factory over and landed, and then started pumping widow mines. And I had no vision of it because I just wasn't thinking about it because I thought I had vision of his base. Didn't even realize he was building a proxy factory in widow mine, and I lost, and it was terrible. And it was good, but I was like, dang it, should have saw that coming.
For now, though, we do see Seigifried playing a nice kind of 3-gate styler, opting more for the gateways, getting up his natural. He opened up much safer than he may have needed to be, but we'll see now how that actually kind of starts to pan out for himself. While his opponent, PandaBearMe, quick third, nothing too crazy, not a 3-hatch before pool, but he has gotten Ling speed and is now popping out 24 Lings. That is a very aggressive force, especially when you're going mass gateway only, because, I mean, after a while, they do get annoying, and the back rock's very easy to take out. It's all going to come down to the lovely force fields. Thankfully enough, though, Seigifried does have his back rocks already down in his main base to be safe.
Yep. We do see that pylon try to use that, jumping over that wall trick. It does get scouted. This mothership, of course, sees all these Lings around. They're going to poke him around a little bit, but you know, he's going to be able to run away from it. Not a problem. PandaBearMe runs away from the mothership core, kind of dances around. But I think he's just he's trying to control the map with these speedlings. Doesn't want his opponent to get 3 bases. It looks like he's going to go for those rocks. What I would do in this situation, I would just, I would just split my Lings up. Send half my Lings to one set of rocks, send half my Lings to the other, and take down both at the same time. Protoss isn't going to be able to defend against both rocks being taken down.
Definitely, this is going to be really good for PandaBearMe, kind of being aggressive and denying a 3rd base, but nonetheless, I mean, PandaBearMe, he did see those 3 gates for Seigifried on the front as the wall. He may be being aggressive, which is incredibly viable, it's good, and he also may just, you know, checking off that safety of, okay, you were trying to get a pylon down, I don't want to let any of that happen. Biggest thing right now, just to mention, is that technically Seigifried can't actually defend either of those rocks because he's taken down his own and is just all up for PandaBearMe to take him out now and really take a quite dominant lead of map control. One Overlord does go down in the main beautifully enough, and that will deny a lot. And actually, he just Seigifried canceled something. I didn't see what it was, but he canceled it. Twilight cancels the Twilight and now goes into double Stargate. The mind games are real.
Yeah, so the Overlord does see this Twilight, the Twilight cancel, and then he cancels it once the Overlord loses the vision. So now, you know, it's like you said, like PandaBearMe might think, okay, he's doing this build, he's doing that build, and in actuality, he's going to go for Sky Toss, which we don't see PandaBearMe in any kind of position to defend it if he does start mashing with it.
Not at all, especially when it's double Oracle. It's not even kind of Phoenixes, you're going to take air control. It's just, I'm going to screw your bases and you can't do anything about it. PandaBearMe will be getting out Roaches, though. I mean, maybe he'll be able to pressure, not necessarily keep the Oracles back, but force Seigifried to put more into ground than into air. But still, that is a minute or 2 off. And right now, PandaBearMe, though, he does have that really nice map control. He's denying both the 3rd bases of Seigifried here, and that's what he needs to do. He does not want to allow Seigifried to get up to that 3 base, but nevertheless, I mean, 2 base Protoss still can be very scary. For now, PandaBearMe is going to be praying he can get up to Hydralisk really quickly, but he hasn't actually seen the Stargate. So it's more of just, I'm going to go straight up Hydralisk, and man, poor Oracles. Yeah, I'm kind of worried, like, if they just get in there, do they kill like, is it just kind of like you 1A and everything dies? It doesn't matter what unit type it is. Like, this could defend the Roach attack very easily.
He can defend the Roach attack really easily, but if he's getting more Oracles, if he goes mass Oracles, which I've seen it in Legacy, it's not the greatest, however, 2 Oracles could kill a Queen, no problem. So if you only have 1 Queen per base, you will have no defenses, because those Oracles will come in, melt the Queen, and then there goes all your units. I mean, this could be game-ending if he does not get some static D up, like yesterday. You know, he needs it up now. Because here comes the Oracles across the map. They're not going to get spotted at all until it's going to be way too late. And see what kind of damage this is his 3rd base. Takes down the Queen, melts it.
Oh, the Queen! Oh man, I'd love to see that Queen like kind of pick up some kills, but right there we actually saw a lot of Roaches. PandaBearMe spread out and then sadly realized, oh crap, you're not doing a Warp Prism crazy attack, and now these Oracles themselves, they could take on a Spore Crawler, quite honestly. They actually could kill it. Not 2, but 1 they can definitely kill easily.
Yeah, and
2 with Micro.
You know, some Hydras popped out but got completely melted. We do see a counterattack with Lings and Roaches at the front gate, but they're not going to be able to do much. This is a huge army with Voids in this. He's not going to be able to do much. I believe this is going to be GG getting called out. You know, Seigifried takes it with his mass Oracles, because there's not much he's going to be able to do against this. I mean, like, yeah, he's on 3 bases. Yeah, he's got the Protoss stuck on 2, but I mean, these Oracles are going to come in and defend, and I don't know what PandaBearMe could do else.
It's not quite GG yet, though, Draven. PandaBearMe only lost 9 workers in that. He's made extra spores. He's up for the defense, but the counterattack, or kind of the After defending that, the attack by Seigifried is going to be incredibly potent. You got Foy Void Rays, a lot of Oracles. That'll kill just about anything, and it's up to PandaBearMe to pump out as many Hydras as he can. He's desperately trying to get both Hydra upgrades, that is speed and range, getting all his upgrades and just making sure, you know what, I need the fullest 3-base economy I can manage to be able to hold this in. No. PandaBearMe actually back at his base, by the way, will take out those rocks just to be double careful about some counterattack, and now we see Seigifried just adding on more gates, getting charged, and saying, you know what, my gas goes to air, my minerals go ground, and I'm going to smash you.
Yeah, and you know what PandaBearMe's got to be thinking. He's like, okay, he's on 2 bases. He's on 2 bases. I need to contain him and make sure he stays on 2 bases. Make sure that I don't lose control, because, like you said, yeah, it's technically not in GG, but like that's a huge air army that PandaBearMe needs to start getting Hydras out. He needs to start getting his upgrades. We do see a +2 range coming down, but it's just against more voids, more zealots, charge lots included. It's going to be a nasty army. Here comes the push. It's going to be completely unscouted until the very last moment. So we'll see if he gets any kind of defense up. We do see the creep spread, which is great, but it might be a little too late.
PandaBearMe, though he does have 3 spores at each of his bases, he may be able to kind of reposition them, albeit that will open him up for Oracle Harass, but if this big fight goes down, that's going to be very important. Currently 100 army supply to 90, not too much different. PandaBearMe does have the lead, but he needs to make a fantastic concave. This is actually perfect for him. He will attack the army out in the middle of the map, but charge is done. He needs to kind of make that charge happen, pull back, and just delay the fight as long as he can, or at least take a nice concave. Right there is a beautiful place to take it. I'd love to see Seigifried get bro just to be extra safe, but now because of the back rocks of PandaBearMe are down, his 3rd base is very, very open.
I do see more zealots coming in, which is going to tank those Hydralisks, as the Hydralisks trying to focus on the voids, but they're not going to be able to reach them if the zealots get in front like that. And so here we see another fight go down. He's got a good concave, but he needs just a little bit more. Both armies are just kind of like on equal, on equal settings right now, and so just +2 range is about to finish for PandaBearMe, so it does get completed. So this Hydras and Roaches are going to do some nasty damage, but we do see the army getting pushed back yet again. He's not going to be able to push into that, because again, he's on 2 bases, so he's going to get mined out here eventually. Time warp goes down, takes on that pylon, which is great. Any kind of...
Well, the Roaches got to be careful right here. They cannot overextend. They need to pull back, and the Hydras are not there to defend them. What the biggest thing right now for PandaBearMe is he has to be careful and patient. He wants to bait the other army in, and this may be the opportunity. The Oracle's in the main. Oh, so close to getting killed. Actually, they just kind of add insult to injury and throw a nice revelation down. But with the mini spore crawlers of PandaBearMe and his defense, he's now in a nice position while still at the 17-minute mark. Seigifried is on 2 bases. It's getting a little bit scary, Draven. We'll see if he can make, though. I mean, Seigifried has a very potent army, but with allowing, as you said, PandaBearMe, he needed to get up he needed to get up spores yesterday. Well, he actually managed to get the spores up. For the situation, he's looking good.
Yeah, Mothership Core does get a drop, which is no big deal. He's just going to remake it. Storm's coming down, High Templars, so he needs to get this good contacts with the AoE. We do see an Infestor coming down as well from Fundagoth, trying to get this army just clumped up together so the Hydralisks can get on top of it. My guess is to stop the voids from tearing apart this army, but again, he's only on 2 bases, so as you can see, like, he's running out of minerals on his 1st base, and he's kind of running low on his 2nd base, so he needs to either expand, he needs to expand quickly, or take out this army, but he's going to get super far behind, because now we see that PandaBearMe is taking his 4th base, while Seigifried is still only on 2.
Not only is PandaBearMe taking a 4th base, but he's got 2,500 minerals, he's got about 1,000 gas, he's got 30 larvae saved up, and now going into infestors. The fungals are going to be amazing, and not only that, but there's this little counterattack in the bottom right-hand corner of roaches for PandaBearMe. The first set of rocks are taken out on the right-hand side. Now these rocks are going to be taken out. There is nothing stopping PandaBearMe from doing crazy link counterattacks, whatever he wants to with the 25 minerals in the bank. 2,500, my bad. Seigifried will clean it up, but like I was saying, this only provides so many more opportunities and avenues of attack for PandaBearMe. He's just got to be really careful and not overextend. Yet on the other hand, even if he does, I feel like he's in a great position, especially with Seigifried with 0-0 army, and I think 0-0 air too. Yeah, no upgrades at all except for Storm. In charge.
Yeah, it's very surprising that he hasn't gotten, either player hasn't gotten the armor upgrade, but we do see a +2 for the Zerg, but the armor is just about to finish, +1 armor is just about to finish, but 0 upgrades for the Protoss army, so they're going to kind of melt when it comes to this Hydralisk. These Hydralisks are going to do so much damage. One Oracle drops.
The Guardian Shield does go down, which is going to be beautiful against the Hydro Roach Force Field. We'll see how good the Fungals are. The Force Fields actually keep the Ohm Zealots on the wrong side of the Force Field, but beautiful Storms and Feedbacks actually do go down onto the Infestors. One Fungal does get off, and now it's a really dicey fight, but the Storms are so good. Sky Toss is good, especially with Hallucinated Void Rays, and the army just pushes through here, losing very little Zealots. And now after that, PandaBearMe desperately 18-20 Hydras coming out. He's still got to be careful. His fourth base will go down, but still, he's managing to get a decent army back, and he's kind of surviving still. It's getting dicey. Seigifried is going to push and try to make this the final push right here, guys. Oh, it's dead. Dangerous. This better be the best Blinding Clouds ever, and honestly, I'd go Blinding Cloud over Fungal in these situations.
Yeah, that was, with his Archons getting warped in as well, it's Archon and Zealots are just kind of great buffers, great tanks, while those Voids just kind of sit there melting this army. I really thought that the Zerg army had it, he's got the slight upgrade advantage, but the positioning just made it that much better for this Protoss army. So now we see the Seigifried's third base is getting up and running, so he's going to start making a little bit more bank. So we do see another attack coming up. Blinding Clouds, Fungals, everything's going down. Just any last minute attempt, the Hydralisk focus down a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
Beautiful Fungals do go down on the Blinding Clouds. Yes, they're good, but as I actually was thinking about what I said before, is sadly, there is no ground army that shoots. It's mainly Stalkers and Zealots, and now the rest of the Void Rays will be cleaned up. Beautiful Blinding Clouds, beautiful Fungals. I'd opt more for the Fungals now, but now it's getting a little dicey. Charge lots are very good versus the Hydras, but when you're on kind of 1.5 bases, as our Protoss player Seigifried is here, PandaBearMe will take it back. Going 1-0, still one game away from moving on, but a beautiful game one.
Dang, man, I called that GG like 3 different times. Now I feel like an idiot after watching that, but man, those encounters toward the end, I really thought that once Seigifried took that fourth base and he had the dominant army, I thought he was going to be able to handle it more, but as we saw, the upgrades and just excellent Fungals on top of Blinding Cloud was just way too much to handle, and that was just great plays by PandaBearMe. He didn't overreact, he didn't panic, and he just kind of was a little bit patient and took the last fight and won, and that was an incredible play. Holy smokes.
The only thing I'd kind of say maybe he shouldn't have done is, I love the Vipers. I love the idea. Maybe even get up Ducks, but honestly, Infestors would have been better because he got Blinding Cloud on, but there was like 2 Stalkers and a couple Archons there. Wouldn't have affected Zealots, did not affect the Erica army. Nevertheless, though, guys, he did take it back in a beautiful defense, and honestly, I put it down to Seigifried needed to be better with the Oracles. He could have kept patrolling around, not only getting Revelations down. Yes, there was Spores, but with 4 Oracles, you can actually kill a Spore. You might as well push into that, take out more workers, but they need to damage the economy and not sit back on 2. In the end, that was only game 1, though. PandaBearMe up 1-0. Game 2 is going to be Iron Fortress, and Iron Fortress is only going to provide more possibilities for Seigifried to kind of turtle up on the back of an air Skytoss army, said Draven.
Yeah, we did see him do a 2-base turtle, and it kind of played out for him towards the end, but I think he stayed on 2 bases a little bit too long. I think he could have had the opportunity to go on 3 bases. He was on 3 bases that whole time because PandaBearMe was only on 3 bases himself. He was kind of on 4 bases towards the end. He lost it pretty quickly, so he wasn't that much further ahead. So I feel like if Seigifried took his 3rd base sooner, the outcome probably would have been different. Might have been up.
Maybe some carriers?
Had the carriers or had upgrades. We did see a couple good storms, but nothing too game altering, but that was just, man, it was the patience of PandaBearMe towards that last 2 fights, man. It just, which what did him the game, but dang, great plays from both players.
Definitely great plays. Now, I'm just going to go and get some water, fill up my gigantic thing of water really quickly, and I'll be back in just 30 or 40 seconds.
And so I am left here to my own devices to entertain the crowd as we get this second game